You've worked in messaging in Australia, Asia, and the United States. What's the difference between those countries in the way they see messaging, maybe their adoption of messaging? What's different?
So I think maybe 2 months ago now, I was in China visiting some clients. And, if you've been to China recently, you see the explosion of the use of messaging just to conduct their everyday lives. I mean, they're buying everything, they're transacting, they're talking to everybody. It's all on messaging. And, I do think that's probably a sign of the future. But generally speaking, across the world, the same things matter no matter which country you're in. It needs to work seamlessly. It needs to be easy for the consumer. And it needs to be easy for the company that wishes to use it. So we try and focus on, of course, making sure that local regional nuances are taken care of, character sets and all these sorts of things that are a feature of our industry. But really, just to try and make sure that it's as easy to use in every country, every territory that we operate.
I've never been to Australia. I know the Chinese.
You should go.
I know
it's really nice.
Beautiful place. We will. Is the Australian SMS market more like the US market or more like the China market, or is it something completely different?
I don't. You know what? We, as I said earlier, we terminate something like 250 parts of the world every day.
Yeah.
And I caution against saying, is it more like this or is it more like that? I just think that the different countries. And I mean, to that question, I don't know if Australia is, similar to one country or similar to another. Every region has its own sort of characteristics. But what we can say, because we see it very clearly, is that messaging's on the rise.
The growth.
Or companies are realizing that messaging is a great way to communicate with consumers without disrupting the moment the consumer is in.
Yeah.
We've got busier lives all the time. The idea that we can, spend, hours on the phone trying to resolve something whilst we're trying to do something else, look after the children maybe, or try and, prepare a meal or whatever. Messaging just allows you to get those things done in a very effortless way.
It's so seamless.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the reason why it is growing so fast.